All right, hello Washington Eagles. It's Junie B. Jones time. I actually read a couple of chapters and the video was too long, so I'm gonna have to reread them. So I guess I'm only gonna read like 2 chapters unless I can get through this quickly. So here we are, continuing on with Junie B. Jones and that meanie Jim's birthday. So chapter 4 is moving. The next morning, I didn't get out of my bed, not even when Mother hollered, "Time for breakfast!" She came into my room. "Didn't you hear me, Junie B? It's time to eat," she said. I looked up from my pillow. "Yeah, only I'm not even hungry, plus also I'm moving today," I said. Mother smiled. She sat on my bed. "You're moving, huh?" she asked. "And exactly where are you going?" I did my shoulders up and down. "Somewhere," I said. "Somewhere where?" she asked. "Somewhere not here, that's where," I said. Mother hugged me. That's still about Jim's birthday party, isn't it?" she said. "You're still worried about not getting an invitation." "No, I'm not," I said. "On account of I'm not even going to that school anymore. On account of I'm moving today." Mother shook her head. Then she went out of the room, and she and Daddy did whispering in the hall. Pretty soon, Daddy came in. He gave me a piggyback ride to the kitchen. The mother made my favorite hot cereal, and she let me have all the brown sugar I wanted. She sat down next to me. "You know, Junie B, Jim is only doing that to hurt your feelings," she said. He just wants to get a reaction from you, that's all." "He sure does," said Daddy. "And when someone is trying to hurt your feelings, there's only one way to get back at them." "You have to pretend you don't care," said Mother. "You have to pretend you don't even want to go to that party, because if you pretend you don't want to go, it will take all the fun out of it for him." Daddy winked. "You can do that, can't you?" he asked. "You're the best little pretender in the entire world." Just then my whole face lighted up, 'cause the word gave me a great idea. "Hey, I just figured out where I can move to. It's called A Small World After All, and it's at Disneyland." "Remember that, Daddy? It's where all those puppets kept on singing that same song over and over and over again." I smiled. "That would be a happy place to live, don't you think?" Daddy looked at me a real long time. Then he put his head down on the table, and he started knocking it on the edge. Mother pulled him up from there. They went to the hall and did some more whispering. After a while, Mother called me from her bedroom. "Junie B, can you pick up the phone, please? It's your grandfather. He wants to talk to you for a minute." I picked up the phone. "Hello?" "Hello yourself, little girl," said my grandpa Frank. "What you up to this morning?" "I'm moving today," I said to him. Papa Miller sounded upset. "Moving?" he said. "Oh, no, you can't be moving. If you move, then you won't be able to come over to my house on Saturday." I crinkled up my nose at him, 'cause this conversation smelled fishy, that's why. Only how come you want me to come to your house?" I asked. "And how come it has to be on Saturday?" "Because Saturday's the day I do my work around here, remember?" he said. "You're still my little helper, aren't you?" I thought, very careful. "Yes," I said. "On account of sometimes I help Grandpa fix stuff. It's called odd jobs, I think." "Aren't you doing odd jobs?" I asked him. "Is that why you want me to come over there?" "Sure, I'm doing odd jobs," said Grandpa, "but I can't do them without my helper, can I? You're the one who wears the tool belt, aren't you?" I smiled, very proud, because Grandpa Miller's tool belt is the bestest thing I love. It has a jillion tools hanging off of that thing. It wraps around me 2 whole times, and I don't even cave in. Just then, Grandpa Miller made his voice real quiet. "You haven't heard the best part yet," he whispered. "Guess what I'm going to be fixing?" I whispered back at him. "What?" Then Grandpa said for me to hang on a minute on account of he wanted to close the door, or else Grandma might hear. "If your grandma hears it, she'll want to be my helper instead of you," he said. I waited, very patient. "Ready?" he said. "Ready," I said. "Okay, I'm going to be fixing the upstairs toilet." Just then my mouth came all the way open, 'cause fixing the upstairs toilet is a dream come true, that's why. "Are you going to take the lid off the top, Grandpa? Are you going to keep flushing it? And are you going to watch all the water go out of that thing?" I asked. Sure I am. Of course I am. That's half the fun of fixing the toilet, right? He said. Right, I said, very excited. Plus, also, I love that big ball that floats on the top. Me too, said my grandpa. I love that big ball too, and so I can count on you, can't I? You and I have a date on Saturday, right? I thought some more. Yeah, only I think there's something you forgot, Grandpa. What? He asked. What did I forget, little girl? I raised my eyebrows at that silly head. You forgot that I'm moving today. Chapter 5, Being a Buzzing Bee. Grandma and Grandpa Miller take turns babysitting me before lunch. Then they get me dressed for kindergarten. Except for today, Mother came home from work, and she got me dressed and said she would drive me to school. If I drive you, then you won't have to see Jim on the bus, she said, very thoughtful. She got out my clothes for school. It was my jumper with the frogs on it. Yeah, only guess what? I'm not even wearing school clothes today on account I'm moving, and so I have to wear moving man clothes. Mother kept on trying to put that jumper on me. That's how come I made my legs and arms real stiff, so they wouldn't fit in there good. Then me and Mother wrestled a tiny bit, and she stood me on my head, and she pulled my tights on me. You're not moving, Junie B, she said. You're going to school, and that's final. Running away from your problems never solves anything. Yeah, only I'm not even running, I said. I'm calling ride or rent trucks, and those guys will drive me. Mother smiled. She tried to hug me, but I kept on staying real stiff. I stayed real stiff all the way in the car to school. Mother parked the car in the parking lot. Then she lifted me out the door, and she carried me real stiff to the playground. She stood me up in the grass. Everything will be fine. You'll see, she said. Just remember that Daddy and I told you. If anyone talks about the party, pretend it doesn't bother you. She kissed me goodbye on my stiff head. Just then I heard voices hollering, Junie B! Hey, Junie B! Look what we got! They hollered. I turned around. It was my bestest friends, Lucille and Grace. They were running at me. Look, said Lucille. Look what Jim gave us. It's invitations to his birthday party on Saturday. It's just like he told us, Junie B, said that Grace. He's really going to have a petting zoo there. I covered my ears with my hands, and I closed my eyes, and I sang a song loud at them. It's called I Can't Hear You, You're Not Even Bothering Me. I sang at the top of my lungs. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. You're not even bothering me. Then I kept on singing and singing that until they went away. Also, they did the cuckoo sign at me. After that, I sat down on the grass all by myself, and I looked all around the playground. Lots of other children had invitations too. Darn it, I whispered. Darn it, darn it, darn it. That's when I saw that meanie Jim. He was giving an invitation to that boy named Crybaby William. Crybaby William is the scariest cat in room 9. He's even scared of a teeny flea, I think. Just then I sat up a little bit straighter, because I just got another idea in my head, that's why. It's called, hey, maybe I can take William's invitation away for him, because he won't even chase me, probably. And so then I will have my very own invitation, and William can get another one from that Jim, and then everybody will get to go to the party, including me. I stood up from the grass, and I squinted my eyes at Crybaby William, and I started to run at him very slow. I ran faster and faster, till finally I was running as fast as a speeding bumblebee. I buzzed all around William, zippity-quick. His eyes couldn't even follow me that good. Then I buzzed right in his face, and I quick grabbed that invitation out of his fingers. I runned my fastest to the swing set. And guess what? William didn't even follow me. That's what. And here's more good news. William's invitation didn't even have his name on it. So that means it could be for anybody, probably. Only now it's mine, I said, because I will put my name on it when I get to room 9, and it will be my very own invitation. Just then the bell rang for school. I put my invitation way down in my deep pocket, and I skipped, very happy, to my class. Mrs. was standing outside of room 9. William was standing with her. His nose was sniffling a real lot. I tried to skip past them, but Mrs. grabbed the straps of my frog jumper. She pulled me back. Yeah, only I don't actually think that this is good for the outfit, I said. Mrs. did a frown. Junie B, did you take something that belonged to William? She asked. No, I said, because his name wasn't on it, and so that means it is for anybody, I think. Mrs. tapped her angry foot. Was William holding an invitation, Junie B? And did you snatch it out of his hands? And then did you run away from him? She asked. I smiled very cute. I was a buzzing bee, I said. Mrs. holded out her hand. May I have it, please? She asked. May I have the invitation you took from William? I rocked back and forth on my feet, because I didn't want to give it to her, that's why. Yeah, only I think it might have bounced out of my pocket, I said. Mrs. bended down next to me. She leaned way into my face. I want that invitation, she said. Now. I did a gulp. Then I quick put my hand in my pocket. Good news, I found it, I said, very nervous. Give it to William, said Mrs. Crybaby William put out his hand. I shoved it at him. Here, Mr. Stinky Tattletale Boy, I said. Here's your stinky head invitation. Mrs. eyes got real big. Junie B. Jones, that's quite enough. Now you go sit down, and I don't want to hear another word. Do you understand, young lady? Not one more word. And so that's how come I walked, very slumping to my seat. And I put my head down on my table, because guess why? Laying low again. That's why. Okay, I'm going to read chapter 6 tomorrow. Have a good night. Love you guys. Bye.